Okay, welcome back. This is the 13th lesson of grade 11, that is equations. This lesson is bit lengthier, therefore we'll try to do less examples, and then I'll upload a separate video where I'll be solving some questions. Okay, now in this first part you have how to solve simultaneous equations. Now already in grade 9 you have studied the way of solving. Now if you have, for an example, if you have a simultaneous equation of this form. Now look here, the coefficient of this a is 2, coefficient of a in this equation is 6. Okay, let's say 1 and 2. Now since here if you consider b, the coefficients are equal. How did you solve? You can just add both and solve. This is in grade 9. Now if you consider another example, which is consider is equal to 6, 1 and then 3n plus 2n is equal to 4. Now here, are the coefficients equal? No. The coefficients of both m and n are not equal, n and n are also not equal. Therefore, what can you do? You can multiply the second equation by 2, by number 2. Therefore, if you multiply, you will get 6m plus 4n. Therefore, n and n will be equal. Therefore, you can add both the equations and find the values of m and n. Therefore, and other thing is that if they have different signs, then you have to add the equation, and if they have same sign, you have to subtract both the equations. Okay, now here we are going to study about solving simultaneous equations when the coefficients are in fraction form. That is, for an example, there are also 3 methods of doing it. Okay, for an example, I'll take the first method is by, now when you have a fraction, you have a numerator and a denominator. Let us check the first method. Okay, let us call this as equation 1, and the other equation is 1 over 4x minus 1 over 6y is equal to, say, 0. Now here what we are going to do is, we are going to cancel off the denominators in both the equations. Therefore, in order to cancel off, what should you do? Yes, you have to take the first equation and find the LCM of 3 and 2. The LCM of 3 and 2 is 6. Therefore, you have to multiply the first equation by 6. That is going to give you, multiply this by 6. That is going to give you 3x plus 2y is equal to 120, isn't it? And you have to name this equation as number 3. Okay, and the next one, what is the LCM of? Now you are going to multiply the second equation by the LCM of 6 and 4. What is the equation of 6 and 4? Yeah, it's 12, right? Yes, 12. Therefore, if you multiply this by 12, you have 3x minus 2y is equal to 0. That is equation number 4. Now look here, you have this y, coefficient of y is 2, therefore now it looks like the earlier form, this way. You have different equation means you have to add both. So this looks easy, right? You can solve. So if you add both, altogether you are going to get 6x is equal to 120, x is equal to 20. Okay, then you can take any equation and substitute the value of y, and then finally you will be getting, after substituting, y is equal to, you will get 30. Is that clear? This is one method. Okay, I'll call it method 1, that is by eradicating the denominator. Okay, the next part is by substitution. Even that you would have done in your early grades. Okay, that is, I'll take the example 1 over 6a minus 1 over 5b. b, that is equal to minus 2, I'll call it equation 1, and then 1 over 3a plus 1 over 4b, that is equal to 9, I'll call it equation 2. Now what is the substitution? Substitution in the sense, now you take any equation, take equation now using 1. You are going to make a or b the subject of this equation. You are going to make it the subject and then substitute in the second equation. Now think, I'm going to make a the subject here. So if I have to make a the subject, I have to send all the b terms to the other side and make a the subject. Therefore, I have 106a, that is equal to minus 2 plus 105b. And then in order to make a the subject, you have to multiply each of the terms by 6. Therefore, a is equal to, if you multiply this by 6, you have 6b over 5. Okay, now this is the value of a. Now what you have to do is, now let us call this 3. You have to substitute 3 in 2. Now if you substitute here the value of a, instead of a you have to substitute this whole term and then solve. Then only in this equation, the new equation, you will have only b terms. Thereby you can find b. B will be equal to 20. Okay, and then how do you find a? You can take any equation you like, 1, 2, whatever, and then substitute the value of b in any equation you like, 1 or 2, whatever. Say 1, whatever. Finally you have to get a is equal to 12. Okay, this is one of the method. And the other method, third method, is making coefficients equal. Okay, that is, come to an example. Say you have half m plus 2 over 3n is equal to 1. That is equation number 1. And also think of an example, the other equation as 5 over 6m plus 1 over 3n is equal to 4. This is equation number 2. Okay, now the way of making the coefficients equal is, okay, you have to now think of the coefficient of n in both the equations. Now here you have denominator 3, 3, but the numerator is 2 and 1. Now in order to make them same, you can multiply the second equation by 2. But in order to multiply, can you multiply only this term by 2? No, you have to multiply each of the terms by 2. Therefore, I will multiply second equation by 2. That is going to give me, here also you have to multiply, that will give me 5 over 3. 5 over 3n plus 2 over 3n. You have to multiply this also by 2. That is going to give you 8, and I call it the equation 3, right? Yeah, 3. Now what are you going to do? You have equation 3 and equation 1. The coefficients are equal. And look at the sign, both have plus sign. Therefore, if you have the same sign, what should you do? If you have the same sign, you have to subtract. Therefore, if you subtract, say I subtract 1 minus 3, what are the equation you like, you can subtract. And then the answer you'll be getting is, okay, I'll write it down. Then now you write the whole equation. All the left hand side of the equation 1 first. That is 5 over 3m plus 2 over 3n minus, within bracket you write all the left hand side equations of equation number 3, 1 first. Half m plus 2 over 3n minus, you write all the left hand side of equation number 3. You have 5 over 3m plus 2 over 3n. Now you write the right hand side of equation 1 minus 8. So if you add both, what is the answer? So you can make the denominator same here. Okay, this is n and m, so I'll write it, I'll expand this. 2 over 3n, here you have, now multiply minus into this number, that is going to give you 5m over 3. Minus into this number also going to give you minus 2n over 3, here minus 7. Now look here, this and this will cancel off. Now subtract these two and get the answer. So I'll just help you out. It is going to give you 2m minus over 3 is equal to minus 7. Now in order to find the LCM, you have to multiply this by 3 and this by 2, right? Yeah. Therefore it's 3m minus 10m. You have 10 minus 3 7m over 6 is equal to minus 7. So minus and minus will cancel off. M is equal to 6, isn't it? Yes, m is equal to 6. And then if you take any equation and substitute the value of m in equation 1, 2, 3, whatever you like, the value of n will be, you have to substitute m equals 6 in any of the equation, and the value of n will be equal to, you should get minus 3 if I'm not wrong. Okay, is that clear? Okay, that part is done. That is the way of solving simultaneous equations. Okay, on our next video I'll be giving you examples and the way of solving. Okay, using all three types I'll be solving questions. Okay, now let us check. Okay, how do you solve quadratic equations by factorizing? Okay, they will say you find the root of let us take example 2x square plus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, now you also know that these are the equations you get for graph, right? You draw the maximum graph, minimum graph, and then find the root. Root means where it cuts the x-axis. Okay, the graph, the place where the graph cuts the x-axis. Okay, now if they give you only this equation and ask you to find the roots, what you have to do is first you have to factorize this. Now already you have studied how do you factorize. Since you have 3 terms, you have to replace 3x by 2 terms. How do you find the 2 terms? First multiply the coefficient of 2 and minus 9, that is going to give you minus 18, and find all the factors. This you have studied. Just check your grade 9, grade 10 book. Okay, so you multiply, get the factors, and then replace. So the answer would be I'm going to replace this by 6x minus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. Now if you solve these two, you are going to get 3x. Therefore I replace this 3x by these two factors. Okay, now try to factorize. What is the common term here? You have 2x. If you take 2x out, you have 3. Then you have minus 3. Then x plus 3 is equal to 0. So x plus 3 out. What is left? 2x minus 3. These are all grade 9, grade 10 work, right? Therefore you have two values for x. One is that x plus 3 is equal to 0, or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So it can be x may be equal to minus 3, or x may be equal to 3 over 2, that is 1.5. Okay, got it? Okay. And I'll give you one more question. You all try it out. I'll be giving you the answer in the next video. Okay, say you have, okay, take this equation, then try to solve in your own. Okay, and let us go to the next part, that is solving quadratic equation by completing the square. Okay, I'll take example by completing square. Okay, this is one of the important methods we are going to study. This and the last method that we'll be studying after this. Okay, these two methods are very important, therefore listen carefully. Think of a quadratic equation. Okay, these types of questions you will be always getting it in the question based on the graph. Okay, example, you have consider an equation x plus 2x minus 3 that is equal to 0. Okay, so in this question what you have to do is first keep all the x terms to one side and move the constant to the other side of the equation. When you move, you will be getting x plus 2x is equal to, if you move minus 3 to the other side, you have plus 3, isn't it? It's correct. Okay, now what should you do? Okay, what's the next step? Okay, next what you have to do is, the x square term is here, What is the x term here? You have 2. What is the coefficient of x term? That is 2. Now you have to take half the value of coefficient of x. Half the value of coefficient of x means you have to always divide this coefficient by 2. Divide it by 2. Okay. That is going to give you 2 divided by 2 is going to give you 1, right? Okay, if you want, I'll write it here. That is going to give you 1. Now what you have to do is you write the first term x squared plus 2x. Now you have to take the square of this term and add on both sides. Now you cannot add it only to one side now, because this is an equation. You have to, if you are making a small change to one side, you have to make the same change to the other side as well. Therefore, if you are adding one square to one side, you have to add it to the other side also. Is that clear? Okay. Therefore, you have to take one square to this side, and then on the other side also you have one square. Is this clear? Okay. Now, for a moment, forget about this side. Consider the left hand side. Now you have to factorize this. Okay, this you have already studied. You might have a basic knowledge. The way of factorizing is this. You take x plus take the number we wrote here. Half of this number. What is the half of this number? You have 1 here, right? You write 1, close it with bracket and square the whole term. When you factorize this whole term, this is the term you get. Okay, from this you come to this method. How? You take half of this and add the square term of the half of this. Okay, you add it to both sides, and for a while think about the left hand side only. Then you take the first term and add the term which you squared, not the square, the term you considered here, 1, and then put bracket and square of the whole term. That is equal to, what is 1 squared? That is, you know, 1 square is 1. Therefore 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Okay, now remove the square sign. If you remove the square sign, what will be the value? Okay, you have to take the square root. X plus 1 is equal to square root of 4. Square root of 4 is equal to plus or minus 2. Now you have, since you have plus or minus, you have two values, right? Yes, you have two values. One is that you have to take, you can take two equations here. One is x plus 1 is equal to plus 2. And on the other side you can, yes, and on this side you have x is equal to, you take the minus 2. And let us take, plus 1 to the other side, that is going to give you minus 1. So here also, if you take minus 1 to the other side, you have plus 2 minus 1. So you have two values. What are the values? Yeah. One is that x is equal to plus 2 minus 1 is equal to 1, or you have to say, or you can say that x is equal to minus 3. Is that clear? Okay. And then the last part. Okay. It's about, okay, one more, I have to solve one more questions on this completing square method. This is a bit different example. The example that I'm going to discuss is, let's say 2x squared plus 6x plus minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. Now here you have to just follow the same method. But there is one important thing you have to listen. Okay. That is, when you have these types of questions, now consider the coefficient of x squared. Now earlier in our example, we just had 1, right? Since we had 1, we didn't write anything here. Yeah. So here you have 2. Now you, in order to make it a bit easier, what you do is, you have to, in order to make it 1, you have to divide each of the terms by 2. So you divide this by 2, this by 2, this by 2. Okay, that is going to give you x squared plus 3x, minus 5 over 2 equal to 0. Okay, now what was the very first method we did? We kept all the x squared term and then moved the constant to the other side, that you have 5 over 2. Okay, what was the next step? Okay, you have to add the square term of something. Na? What is the term? you have to take, yeah, the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? X is 3. You have to take half the value, that is 3 divided by 2. You have to you have to add the square of this term, that is equal to x squared plus 3x. With this you have to just add, okay, on both sides. Yeah, so you have 3 over 2 square of this, and on the right hand side also you have to add the same term. Is that clear? Yes. Now what did I say? Yeah, you have to factorize this. There is a method. How? You take the first term, that is equal to x. Okay, don't take square term x, because we are going to put the square term outside the bracket. Since you have square here, you are going to put the term outside now. You are going to put the square term outside. Therefore, take the terms which have squared. So you have x here. Here what do you have? Yes, you have 3 over 2. Okay. Therefore you write 3 over 2. Now, therefore take square term. Now, on this side, what is the value? Yeah, you will be getting 5 over 2. If you solve this, yes, 3 squared is 9, 9 over 4. Now you have to just solve. How do you solve? Okay, let me solve what is on the right hand side first. So you have to multiply this by 2, you have 19 over 4. Now if you remove the square sign, you will have square root of 19 over 4. 4 you know the value. Therefore, square root of 19 is equal to plus or minus 19 over 2. Okay, now you have two values for x, like I told you. One is that x is equal to, you take the plus value, plus root 19 over 2. If you take plus 3 over 2 to the other side, you have minus 3 over 2. Or you take the minus value of root 19 over 2 minus 3 over 2. Root 19 is roughly equal to, approximately it's 4.36. Therefore substitute these values. Sorry, you have to take plus, okay, plus here. So you substitute the values, take plus 4.36 minus 3 over 2, and on the other side you have minus 4.36 minus 3 divided by 2. So you have two values for x. Is that clear? Okay. And then we'll move on to the last part. This is much important. Okay. The last two methods, one is the completing square, or the method we are going to study now, are both very important. Okay. This is using quadratic formula. Quadratic formula. There is a formula. The way how you derive the formula, that is not necessary. You don't have to memorize or work out that. I will straight away give you the equation. This is the equation. X is equal to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now what are these a, b, c? Okay, I will teach you that, but you have to memorize this equation. This is very important. Okay, you should just know only one method, maybe completing square method, or maybe using quadratic formula. You can solve any quadratic equation using these methods. Okay, therefore an example. Okay, let me take this as one of the example. This method is also very easy. Okay, now if you have a quadratic equation, now in the earlier part, the completing square method, you have to divide this by 2 and all that. No? For some maybe that is easy, or maybe this also can be easy. Now here what you have to do is, it is very simple. The coefficient of x square term, okay, is called as a. That means a is equal to 2. And the coefficient of x term is equal to b. You have to consider with the sign, that is plus 7. And the coefficient of sorry, the constant C is the constant that is equal to plus 3. Now what you have to do is, in this equation you have to substitute each of the values and find. Since you have plus and minus, here also you will be getting two values for x. Okay, so let me solve this. Now straight away I'll solve it here. You have minus what is b? That is equal to 7. So plus or minus b squared. B squared will give you 49 minus 4ac. 4 into a into c. 4 into, okay, a into c is equal to, okay, over 2a. What is a? Yeah, 2. That will give you 4. So further solving this will give you plus or minus 49 minus 24 over 4, isn't it? Yeah. Now let us solve further. You will get 49 minus 24 is equal to 25. This is equal to 25, root 25. So root 25 is equal to 5. So this is half away answer. Okay, now you have to further solve. Now what should you do? You have plus and minus, so you have two answers. So let me take the plus sign first. So you have minus 7 plus 5 over 4, and on the other side you have x is equal to minus 7 minus 5 over 4. So solving this should give you the answer. X is equal to minus 2 over 4, that is equal to minus half, or should make this statement, or x is equal to, here you have minus 12 over 4 is going to give you minus 3. Are you okay with this? Okay, these are the things you have in these lessons. You have to solve more questions. I'll be uploading a separate video for the questions very soon. And thanks for watching, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.